Okay, so battle plan. So because this is just full of top tens here. So if I start with this top 10, I can move on to the next top 10 going alphabetically, and then after I reach all of those, I can do these next 7 top 10s hopefully without contradicting what I say in the previous top 10s. Then after that, I could do the one that everyone will be waiting for. Then this one is scheduled for my birthday, so that should be at the end of the year. But with that being said, I think that's all of the top 10. So that is 18 plus 7, that is 25 plus 2 more, that is 27 top 10s that need to come in the future. Oh, that'll be a good surprise to the fans, especially of this specific type of topic this top 10 will be. But yeah, this should be an interesting 27 top 10s. That'd be amazing. Hope the fans will like that. You heard nothing, okay? Keep it between you and me. Shh. Don't worry. It's not. I'm just going to say, if you're only here for the Beast Quest videos, you're in for a disappointment. You didn't hear anything, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, well, hello, hey guys, it's Adam from the Dimensional Game Squad here, bringing you with a brand new video. Battle of the Beast, episode 24. Tusk, the mighty mammoth, versus Claw, the giant monkey. Now, where do we begin with this? How do I say I know what to do with this fight? Because I absolutely hate both of these beasts. But to avoid the mishap of a lack of fight that Karaka and Vigrash had, I need to give this one a fight. So, okay, I know exactly which beast is going to win. For the very obvious reason. So this battle is not going to last long. But I'm going to try and make it last as long as I possibly can before, let's say, the loser makes a tragic mistake and dies from the other one. Anyway, this battle will take place in the dark jungle like I said it will, because both of these battles were in a jungle. I think so anyway for Tusk. But Claws is definitely in the jungle, and I don't see why Tusk can't be in the jungle since his fight was in a forest or a jungle. So, yeah. So, close your eyes and let me weave you... You know what? I wore the green glasses in the last episode. I'm wearing the orange ones this episode. Yeah. Fabulous! Anyway, close your eyes and let me weave you a tale of how one beast defeats the other. Yeah. So, we open up to the dark jungle. Pretty much untouched. I think so anyway. But untouched from the claws or tails or mouths or acid or whatever the beasts have. And we see Claw in his natural habitat. Swinging from tree to tree. Minding his own business. When suddenly, on a tree that he grabbed, he feels the tree, on a branch that he grabbed, he feels the tree that the branch connects to vibrating, and suddenly he looks and sees coming closer and closer to the ground. He is able to jump to another tree to look down to where the stump was of that tree, only to find Tusk. Giving his loudest elephant toot toot in anger, I say. Claw screeches at Tusk, as in like a battle cry, and those are the cries that you heard that I didn't hear, but I explained when Koba and Kamar were having their fight. Pardon me. Anyway, Claw jumps from another tree directly above Tusk, and before Tusk can move and look up, Claw's already gone to another tree and to another tree, and Tusk is distracted enough to try and find Claw, and Claw jumps down from the tree and lands on Tusk, being careful not to lose his footing, and starts clawing at the back of Tusk. Tusk recoils back. Well, not really recoils back, but flinches from the pain and decides the only way to get rid of Claw off his back is to off of her back. I meant is to charge directly at another tree, or keep charging into trees until Claw falls off. And so she's charging for a fair amount of meters until the first few trees start impacting and causing Claw to wobble. But before Claw can fall off, he jumps to another tree that is out of Tusk's path. Yeah. Tusk feels that Claw is no longer on her back, so she turns around again to see Claw swinging directly at her, ready to kick her in the trunk. Tusk takes the kick, wraps her trunk around Claw's leg, pulls Tusk upside down, hanging like with her trunk around her leg. With her trunk around his leg, lifting him in the air, and then just slams him violently multiple times onto the ground, and then throws him back into the jungle, only for Claw to come swinging back after a few seconds, ready to do the same thing, trying to do a similar thing, but this time Claw does the same thing. But instead of going for the trunk, Claw decides to go for the head, but he got his accuracy a bit off. So what he does is, because he's aiming directly for Tusk's trunk, Tusk's tusk, he uses hands, let's say paws, I don't know what they're called anyway. I'm going to say the hands because, well, we come from monkeys and we're humans, and we have hands. So Claw uses his hands to swing on Tusk's tusk, and lands directly onto Tusk's head, where Claw crawls down and claws at Tusk's eyes, ignoring that he cut himself on the tusk that he was swinging on. And if you remember well from Tusk has a poison that is is on her tusk. So Claw unintentionally infects himself with poison. Tusk is swinging her head around and eventually manages to knock Claw off, causing him to go back into a tree. But Claw manages to regain his balance after grabbing a branch above him and just swing up, lands on the trunk, and just screeches back at Tusk, whilst Tusk is hooting at her. And Claw goes to make a move, but then suddenly loses all feeling in his bones and just falls over, still hanging on to the branch. Claw looks at his hand to see that he has been cut, and realizes that he has been infected with a poison from Tusk's tusk. And because he can't do anything, Tusk then charges into the tree that Claw is on. The tree tumbles down to the ground. Claw is now laying down flat on the ground in major pain and is probably dying from the poison. Tusk turns around and charges towards Claw, but instead of stabbing Claw with her tusk or picking out with the trunk, she tramples Claw completely, only to turn around again and then pick up Claw by her trunk and then toss her into the air. And right before Claw lands, Tusk impales Claw with one of her tusks. Then Tusk gets her trunk again to pull the Claw off. So Claw's impaled, been trampled and infected with poison and been chucked into the air. And just to make sure Claw is finished off, Tusk then swings Claw around by his leg like a shot put, I think it's it. No, not a shot put, a hammer throw. And throws Claw all the way to the other side of the dark jungle. And if you want to know how far Claws actually went, they're in the middle of the jungle, and Claw landed just outside the east end of the jungle. So that's pretty damn far. So it doesn't matter how you see Claws died. He either got impaled through the He either died from the impalement in the chest, from the fact he got trampled, maybe the poison killed him, or maybe it's to do with the fact he's just been chucked around from one side of the jungle to the other. Anyway, what I'm saying is, Tusk won this battle easily. Claw lost this battle. And I'm just going to say, this isn't biased, but I'm just going to say, if Claw did win this battle, I'll be impressed. But as you know, Claw is my least favourite beast. But yeah. Claw has lost this battle. Tusk has won. And that is all for this time. Like I said, I'm sorry that this battle was short. I tried to make it as long as I can. There's absolutely no way I can make a battle of two beasts which I dislike with every fibre of my being a good battle. So that's all for this time. If you liked what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below. I hope you enjoyed this this group of 3 of Battle of the Beasts. My favourite battle was probably the second one with Torbix versus Skuric, but Edic versus Israel was a good one as well. Tusk versus Claw. Really, I'm just going to say that is easily the worst one. But anyway, I'll see you tomorrow with 3 more Battle of the Beasts videos, which I'll be recording either early in the morning tomorrow or when these ones are uploaded. It doesn't really matter when I record it. I'm sure you'll figure out by how bright it is from over this general direction. But like I said, it doesn't really matter. Either way, you're going to get 3 videos tomorrow. And I'll see you next time.